battle, David Ellis. When the mouth and stomach battle, David Ellis.
Toastmasters and guests, when the mouth and the stomach battle, the mouth always wins. And the mouth, like a good lawyer, pleads its case like this. It says, mmm. Let me hear how your mouth pleads its case. Mm. Oh, that wasn't very persuasive. The judges weren't impressed. Let's try again. Mm. And the stomach sometimes in response says, Let's hear how your stomach replies. But of course, the mouth always wins, and the mouth announces its triumph with, ah. Let's hear how your mouth announces its triumph. Ah. I'd like to tell you a story about an unusual mouth and stomach battle. In 1980, my partner and I bicycled from Seattle, Washington to Harrisburg. It was hard work. The bikes were heavy with gear. We had all our camping equipment, sleeping bags, tent, stove, pans, cutlery. We had our tools to fix the bikes, spare parts, water. The bikes were heavy, and we would pedal them all day, up the mountain, across the valley, and it made us hungry. And so eating was one of the big pleasures of our trip. Another big pleasure was the scenery. We went through the misty Cascade Mountains with snow-covered Mount Rainier, went up above the tree line in the Rocky Mountains, through the prairies, the farm towns in the Midwest and the Alleghenies in Pennsylvania. Another nice thing about our trip was we met a lot of interesting people. There's a lot of nice people in our country, and people would stop us in the small towns and be interested. They'd see our gear and they'd wonder, well, just what are you folks up to? Where are you going? And we'd start to talk, we'd tell our story, and they'd become interested and sometimes concerned. And they'd want to give us a warning. It's dangerous camping up there in the mountain, you know. Rattlesnakes. Well, they're going to crawl right inside your sleeping bag while you're sleeping at night. They're attracted by your body warmth. You wake up in the morning and there they are right in the bag with you. You dasn't move because they might strike you. So you just lay there all day till they crawl out on their own. Watch out for them rattlesnakes. Of course, we were just young, 22 years old or something. Rattlesnakes. And we were Easterners. What do we know? When you're out there in the wilderness, you better watch out for them grizzly bears. The smell of food. Oh, sure, you think you're safe. You tie your food in a bag and throw it over a tree, but to smell it on you anyway. To smell it on your clothes, they're going to come right up to your tent, and that big paw rip that tent right off you. Watch out for them grizzly bears. Snakes, bears. Well, the one that bothered us the most, though, it happened like this. We'd be in a small town, say a little town in Oregon, in the store, doing our favorite thing, buying food. And a woman would approach me and ask about our story, and we would chat for a while, and she would notice my partner there and refer to my partner with a male pronoun. And my partner, Tamerly, would turn, and the woman would be very embarrassed, felt she'd been insulting. Well, my partner, we both had our hair just cut right off as a practical consideration. And the woman would stammer, oh, it's not a boy, you're a woman. Oh, and you're a lovely woman, honey. Just adorable, and what a cute figure you have too, sweetie. Oh, and then she'd start to think for a moment. She'd notice the cute little figure. Oh, I hate to say it, but I feel I must warn you. You're going to be out there on the road all by yourself with no one around, and hell's angels are going to go by, and they're going to see her and come back and get her, and you'll be out there by yourself with no one to help you. You'll be helpless. Snakes, bears, and now hell's angels. Well, needless to say, none of those things happened. The real problem was getting enough food to eat. We would load our handlebar bags up in the morning with everything we had. You could put candy bars in there, donuts, sandwiches, apples, anything, and just ride along all day and eating because you're burning so much calories. Honey, you got anything left in your handlebar bag? No, you eat your own. This is mine. We would sometimes find food along the road and pick it up and eat it. One time we came around a bend in the country road. A farm truck must have lost some of its load, and there's onions and potatoes on the road. Oh, we picked those right up. A more extreme example, I didn't do this one, but we met a fellow, another long-distance bicyclist, and he found a dead snake along the road. He picked it up, sniffed it. He said, "Oh, this is fresh kill." And he ate that. So, we ate a lot, and it was a pleasure. One day in particular, we had a long ride from Steamboat Springs, Colorado, up through Rabbit Ears Pass and Rocky Mountain National Park, and then down to Boulder. The mountains out there are very high. We did over 4,000 feet of vertical gain that day. These mountains here, you go up, and you go up. It's not like up and down and you're done. Up and up. Rode all day uphill, and come whipping down the other side. Foo, foo, foo. Just going down, down, and down. And we rode down into the prairies and the farm country in Carlisle. And when we stopped by a farm, drink some water, and out comes a boy that lived there, a teenage boy. And we talked to him for a while, and he was generous. He came out, it was in the fall of the year, and he brought some produce from his garden, and we were happy to get it. And we loaded up our bags with, he brought us peppers and onions and tomatoes and carrots. And finally we made it to our campsite just outside of Boulder, Colorado, set up our little stove, and we just had a little backpacking type stove that doesn't generate much heat. And we're just a few miles from Denver, the mile-high city. It's high altitude, and it's hard to cook food at that altitude. So it takes a while. So we got our food going, we set up the tent, we took showers and PJs. Finally, dinner's ready. Sit down and take a bite, and the peppers were scorching hot. We could not eat it. It was like a fire in our mouth. The stomach says, "I'm hungry." Send it down. With the mouth, it's like, try to drink a little water, eat a little, drink a little, try it with peppers. It was just too hot. There was no way we were going to eat that food. We ended up throwing it out, going to bed hungry. So the moral of the story is, when the mouth and stomach battle, the mouth always wins. Thank you.